How good does a game's gameplay have to be to make it worth playing in spite of its story, characters, voice acting, and general jankiness? Wanted Dead aims to actually find the limits, seeing how far it can go in making what is quite honestly arguably one of the worst games I've ever played from a story and voice acting perspective. But it kept me playing because its gameplay is actually just that good. A game that came out in 2023 that feels more at home on the Xbox 360 back in 2006. I don't even know where to begin with this game, so let's just talk about it. I gotta be honest, usually I'd summarize the game, but I don't honestly really even know what the story of Wanted Dead is. You play as Stone, Agent Stone, Lieutenant Stone, and you're a member of the police force, but the police are owned and employees of private sector companies or something. This is like a cyberpunk dystopian universe. The game takes place in China, and you work for a company that makes cybernetic people, but there's no cybernetic people allowed in China. But then the cybernetic people come back to China, but then they're really humans. It's a lot, and it's hard to even put it together. Some people have. I did do some Googling, and there's some semi-explanations that sort of make sense and kind of follow the general events of the game. But really, from one moment to the next, I had very little idea about what was going on. Add to this voice actors that make the Americans in Squid Game look like Oscar-worthy actors, and it's just a recipe for muting the game.
More step and I'm putting you down.
It wasn't my fault. I fucking told her.
We will figure it out. On your knees, hands over your head.
Or fuck you!
It was hard to stay focused. It was hard to pay attention during cutscenes because it's just wild what's going on here. But behind all this is a very unique and kind of almost arguably innovative gameplay experience. A mix of a third-person shooter and hack-and-slash combat game. You have guns and you can shoot people with them, but you definitely don't get nearly enough ammo to treat this game solely as a shooter. So then you have to sprint forward, get up close, and take out your katana and start sword fighting people. The melee combat's relatively engaging. You have your normal attacks, a charge attack that you can unlock, and you can parry enemy attacks while also using your pistol as a kind of also parry or just part of your combo. You use your sword, then hit him with the gun, then hit him with the sword a few more times. It's actually pretty fun, especially in the first level or two when you're really getting the hang of it. It's very chaotic, but chaotic in a good way. It was just fun, kind of slashing through, charging into these different scenarios, maybe taking a couple guys out with a rifle and then running in and using your sword to finish off the rest. As the game goes on, you unlock upgrades that honestly make you feel almost too strong. I felt like I had more trouble with the first level or two than I did with the last level or two from a gameplay perspective, but it was engaging throughout. It's a very short game. You can beat it in 5 or 6 hours. But those are a really fun 5 or 6 hours. But the hack and slash gunplay combat isn't even all that the game has to offer. Between missions, you can hang out at the police station, which is this fully rendered 5-story building. You can go in the arcade and play a complete side-scroller shoot-'em-up game that they've made and put in here. You can go eat ramen, and that's a rhythm game. There's karaoke, which is another rhythm game. And the game just kind of does it. It just presents it. There's not really any explanation for it. You come back from a mission, and then one of your squad mates says, "I want ramen," and now you're suddenly doing this ramen minigame, or, "Look, we have a karaoke machine now." It's so absurd and random. The closest comparison I had while playing this game is The Room, the movie The Room. It feels just like that. It feels like they're taking it completely seriously, but it's impossible to take seriously. The loading screens are a copy of that one GIF where the guy does a sick burn and everybody goes crazy. Why is that the loading screens of this game? There's just so many questions, and I don't know if that there's necessarily any answers. But part of me really thinks that the creators of this game are kind of in on the joke. there is that thought at the back of your head, like they're in on the joke. It seems intentional because the gameplay is so clean. It's so good. It's so violent and satisfying and gory. And yet the rest of the game is just absolutely absurd by every stretch of the imagination. It is so indescribable. I don't even think I've done it justice what the experience of playing this game is. Crazily enough, I think this is a game that you should play because, again, the gameplay itself is so solid and the rest of it is just hysterical. Just enjoy the ride. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. Don't try and apply logic. Just enjoy it. I said it at the intro, but really this game brought me back just in vibes. I don't know how to really describe it, but it felt like I was playing an Xbox 360 game. And I mean that in the most positive, high praise way possible. It's kind of janky, but it works and it's wild and it's this interesting idea. It's kind of something we've never seen before. It's chaotic. I don't know, it just, for whatever reason, it evokes Xbox 360 for me as far as the feeling goes. And like I said, that I say that as a positive. It just does not feel like a modern video game, but that doesn't make it a bad video game. Getting back to the question I asked at the outset, how bad does it have to be before the gameplay itself doesn't carry it? And I think it has to be worse than this. If you like hack and slashers, if you like third-person shooters, give this game a shot. It is a lot of fun. But what do you think? Is Wanted Dead not worth it because of all the extra stuff? Let me know in the comments down below. What is the jankiest, objectively you know it's bad game that you just still play anyway? I'd love to hear it. If you liked the video, remember to hit the like button, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you all with the next video.